Hello and welcome to polyplane.com. Today we're going to be finishing up with the second part of our series on arrays. This video will include array along a curve and array along a surface. I'd like to talk about the array along a curve. That's this icon right here. Or what you can do is type array curve. So I've got a helix here, and at one end of the helix I have a sphere. I want to array this sphere along this curve. So what I'm going to do is I've typed my command array along curve, and it's asking me to select the object to array, hit enter. And then I'm going to select the curve. A little prompt will come up here and it'll ask me the number of items I want and the orientation. So orientation is exactly what I showed you in the polar array where the rectilinear shape was twisting, and that was because there was rotation on it. Here you can do it road-like, freeform, or no rotation. I want no rotation, and number of items 25, and now it's been arrayed along that curve, and that's pretty even. Well, there's another way to do this. If I do the same command, select the curve, and I select distance between the items, this is kind of neat. Say I want 4. It's going to measure out a length of 4 inches or whatever your units are that you're working in, and then it'll calculate how many it can fit on there with that distance in between them. And it doesn't matter what your curve looks like. It can be 3-dimensional, 2-dimensional, doesn't matter. You just click on array along curve, object, curve, number, and it's good. Okay, I've been leaving this one for last because it's pretty sweet. It's array along a surface, and this is exactly how I know you're hoping it sounds. I click on my object. I click on the base point for where I want my object to array. In this case, I'm going to take the bottom corner of this hexagon shape. And it's asking for a reference normal. Don't worry about this too much. Just the rule of thumb that I keep in my head is you want it to be sort of a straight line parallel to one of the edges of this final surface. So I'm going to click this bottom corner. That's because this edge and this edge are, from the top view, pretty much parallel. And then it's asking me for a target surface. So I want this surface. And it's asking me a number of elements in U direction. We haven't talked about U and V directions yet, but essentially, if I turn on the curves for this object, the U lines follow the x-axis and the V follow the y if your shape is parallel. U and V are sort of like a subset of axes that rely on the surface for their orientation versus the world that they occupy. I know that sounds a little fuzzy, but we'll get into UVW mapping and that sort of thing in later videos. But right now, all you need to know is that for our purposes, U is one direction, V is the other. Array on surface, select object, base point, normal, target surface, number of elements in the U direction. We're going to do, I'll exaggerate it so you can see which direction controls which. We'll say 40, and then in V, we'll do 3. Now you can see which one's U and which one's V. This is U, this is V. It changed the orientation of my shape so that the shape is riding perpendicular to the surface. And it's distributed the shape along the surface evenly, but that's not exactly what I want. What I want is for the form to ride on this surface in a nice even array. So what I'm going to do is undo that and redo it. Only this time I'm going to select the bottom corner and I'm going to go up and then select my target. So check that out. That's starting to look really cool. There's a plugin for Rhino called Paneling Tools, which essentially does this exact operation, only it gives you a little bit more control. If you're interested in trying out Paneling Tools, you can go to wiki.mcneil.com/labs/paneling tool and come down here and do the download. It's a really cool plugin that I highly recommend you try. Those are the other two array types that I wanted to talk about today. Array along a curve and array along a surface. I hope you found these two videos useful because we'll be using arrays a lot in the next few videos. I recommend trying these tools out and familiarizing yourself with them. Play around, experiment. They're really rewarding. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.